Guys, the weekend's finally come. Dustin Poirier will no longer be in the UFC. But before we get to that, we gotta start at the beginning. Who else is sad? Comment down below a picture of your if you're sad. Owen, bleep that shit out. We're gonna start with Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. Not too long ago, Brendan Allen was kind of known and very hyped up to be one of the better fighters, and that kind of went away after his loss to Anthony Hernandez. And I get it. I get that people kind of lost hope in him as a fighter. That hope never really left me. Both fighters had already fought each other, so they kind of had a good read, and one just didn't come through. And I think both fighters are phenomenal. I think especially Brendan Allen's wrestling and striking pair really well. I think that he's going to beat Marvin Vettori. I think it'll be a close fight. I think it'll be a tough fight, but I think he's going to beat him. And I think that people are going to start to see that Brendan Allen isn't as bad as they think he is, especially after losing to someone who's high level with a pre-existing read on him. Vincius Oliveira versus Kyler Phillips. I think Vincius is so quick and his jiu-jitsu is really good. And I think that he's going to kind of shock people with how fast he's going to start tearing through his division and how he's going to just show people that he's there. He has great grappling, definitely high level, definitely within the top 15 level, and his striking is just phenomenal. I think that he's going to win this and it won't even be close. Zell Huber versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, he's a veteran. I feel like a lot of people don't give him enough credit, but he is a veteran. He's been around since 2015, 10 years, and a lot of the highlights come on the first half of his 10 years here. His wins over Dustin Poirier, he beat Tony Ferguson. He lost to people like Khabib, who are considered to be the greatest of all time. And I think that his time as a high-level competitor is almost done. I think he doesn't have much left in him. Daniel Zahuber is so freaking good. He's so good. I think he will win this fight without a doubt. His fight at the Sphere was so good. The best striking I've seen in the UFC in so long. It was worth watching that shitty card. It was awful. But that fight made up for it. And he is so good still. And I think that we're kind of going to see this. Even though he lost at the Sphere, I think that his story is far from over, especially in the UFC. And I think that we have a real lightweight menace coming. Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Here's the thing about people that come from other promotions to the UFC. They're hyped up. I think that they get the UFC jitters, if that makes sense. Where everyone's like, oh, they're going to go on a tear. And they don't. But then there's people like Rener de Ryder, who is not given his flowers. He was unfavored against Bo Nickel, who was just a college wrestler. Rener de Ryder was the biggest promotion in Asia champion. And I think, the hype is misplaced between these fighters. Patricio Pitbull is phenomenal. I'm happy he's in the UFC, but I don't think he's going to beat Dan Ige. I think Dan Ige proves time and time again that he wants the win more. And it usually just comes down to that, especially when both fighters are willing to do whatever it takes and are really willing to dig deep to fight and to get the win. But I think it comes down to who wants it more. And it's hard to say anyone wants it more than Dan Ige. He performs well in any, whether it's 8 hours before the fight or a full camp, he performs well. He's never really out of the fight. His last fight was definitely a little more one-sided than his one with Diego Lopez, but he's never out of the fight, and he wants to win so bad, and he's just he's such a good guy, and I think he's one of the best at featherweight on the mic, because he hypes me up. So I'm going to go to Dan Ige. I think he'll get it done. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. I love Daniel Rodriguez too. I think winning a fight and then walking out to your own music and shouting out your own rap career is awesome. I don't think he's going to win. I think Kevin Holland at welterweight's really good. I think that their jiu-jitsu isn't really that close. I think Kevin Holland's definitely better at jiu-jitsu, even at welterweight. But I think what it comes down to is how well can you adapt that with your striking. And I think that Kevin Holland's just so long, but he gets power out of his punches at the same time that it's just going to be harder for Daniel Rodriguez to move in. I think if he catches him and pressures him up against the fence, that he'll be all right. But I think Kevin Holland just has good foot movement, and he'll be able to get around being pressured a lot. So I'm going to give it to Kevin Holland, and I don't think it'll go to the decision. Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. Paulo Costa used to be known for going to war and something changed. I think that Paulo Costa is. I think he's so strong, but he just lost something in his last fight against Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was just teeing off on him because he was not throwing the right shots. He kind of gives up after going for one big intro shot. When you're looking for your intro shot, especially in MMA, there should be 3 intro shots if 2 of them miss. He goes in with his 3. It misses, so he comes back with his 2. That misses too, so he comes back with the 3. That's what you want. You don't want just one shot, it misses, and you give up. That's what was happening in the last fight. He was giving up. And he wasn't giving up in the fight, he was giving up in the exchanges. That's where he lost. He was looking for the perfect throw, which just wasn't coming. So that's why he lost, and by decision too. Sean Strickland is not a powerful puncher. People know this. He's a phenomenal fighter. That guy could kill anyone. But no one is like, oh, he has the most powerful punches. Roman Kopylov is. If Roman Kopylov catches Paulo Costa with these punches, it's not going to be good. Thankfully for Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov plants really hard with each strike he throws. He will plant and he'll throw, and then he'll have to plant again and throw, which makes him way more powerful, significantly more than anyone Paulo Costa's fought as of recent, other than Robert Whittaker. But it makes him so much more susceptible to a combination or an intro punch that Paulo Costa is looking for. If Paulo Costa is able to play it right and get the right counter punches, I believe he could win. But as it stands, I think Kopylov will win. One way that we see Kopylov's combinations kind of shine is when he gets his opponent up against the fence, because he's able to plant his feet and throw each strike so powerful that he's going to be able to finish the fight so quickly. I think that Kopylov's going to win because I just don't think Paulo Costa's giving it all he can anymore. I don't think he wants it. And I think if Paulo Costa really wants it, he'll be able to take this fight. But Roman Kopylov also has significantly better defensive wrestling than Paulo Costa. I think that, Paulo Costa just needs to be able to move and, he cannot do what he did against Sean Strickland, or he will get knocked out. Max Holloway over Dustin Poirier. If you were to give the same amount of people who got 3 fights out of one person, Max Holloway would win. Because usually when you get 3 fights, it's 1-1. Most of the 3 fights that Max Holloway does, if not all of them, are 2-0. Alex Volkanovski, Dustin Poirier. Though the circumstances may be different in each fight, and a good reason for each fight, it's weird. It's weird to think, why does he get the special treatment? And it could be, he has the BMF belt. Dustin Poirier is a bad motherfucker. He's awesome. He's great. But why is it that, he's getting this opportunity on his last fight in his hometown? Are they going to retire the belt? What is it going to be? Is this just a good way to get rid of the belt? Who knows? But that's just curious. I want you guys to think on that. Comment down below what you think. But just think about that for a second. Why does Max Holloway get all these opportunities to redeem himself? I love Max Holloway. I'm a huge Max Holloway fan. I think he's amazing. I think even at lightweight, he's way better. I think, I don't think he should have been at 135. I think he's not a 135 fighter. He's tall. He performs so well at 145. Winning at 145 with such a highlight and then dropping back down, seeing how he looks after weight cuts, and then seeing how he performs still at 135, which is amazing. Imagine if you had that chin on you that you could have when you were younger. But he went back up and then he got knocked out, and I was like, oh my gosh. But I think Max Holloway is a real problem at 145. I think his time at 135 is completely done. So, Dustin Poirier versus him. I think Max Holloway will win. I think Dustin Poirier has the same power in him. But I think Max Holloway's chin at 145 is different when the weight cut's significantly better. So I don't think that he'll finish Max Holloway. No. I think Max Holloway is a better striker right now. I think he knows where to punch, knows how to punch, and knows when to punch. I think he has a good mix between defensive striking and I shouldn't even say mix. I should say blend, because he blends his striking together really well. I think his striking blends perfectly between defensive and offensive, where he's able to move forward without taking unnecessary risks. Now against Ilia Topuria, being overwhelmed by such complete pressure at a insane weight for him, Ilia Topuria can handle that weight because he's that size. He's the perfect size to be that weight. Of course, he can go heavier, which he is. I mean, he just won the belt. But Max Holloway has a different chin. I think we're seeing a completely different fighter at 145 than we do at a lower weight. So that's why I think that Dustin's going to lose on his last fight, which is sad, but it's a good place to retire. And say he does win, I don't think it really matters. It's like, this is his last fight. And I love him. I love both these fighters. I think that's the problem with a lot of these cards is I love both of these fighters, but I just have to think, which one do I know I'm going to see? Dustin Poirier is done after this. We want Max Holloway. In the perfect world, Max Holloway wins because then that's another accolade. He avenged his 2 losses. He's back. He has that fight. He has the fight that brings him back after such a significant loss. That puts him in a really good place to maybe come back and fight Ilia Topuria again. Get the 2 fights. If he wins, he wins. Because let's remember, he was winning those 2 rounds. He won 2 rounds. We'll see. I think at this new weight, he could even have a real threat to Ilia Topuria. Charles Oliveira doesn't have a great chin. He doesn't. No one claims he has a great chin. If you claim he has a great chin, you're wrong. Comment down below. I'm going to send you my address. I'm going to beat your ass. Unless you're a UFC fighter or going to hurt me or a better fighter than me. So yeah, those are the predictions. Max Holloway. By decision. I don't think he's going to knock him out. So what do you guys think? How's your guys' day? Did you guys see Conor McGregor's D picks? What do you think? How big is your Comment down below. Owen, bleep that shit. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? Why would I say that? And yeah, we got some cool things coming. Maybe an interview with Oh, bleep that shit out, bro. Don't hype the fans up, bro. Bleep that out too, bro. Bleep out everything I just said. Just put a bunch of bleeps, please, bro. And then comment down below. Who do you want Max Holloway to fight after? Charles Oliveira, maybe. Let's get in title shot contention, baby. What else? Comment down below what you ate for breakfast today. Comment down below your least favorite thing about the editor. Put a bad photo of Owen. Put a bad photo of yourself right over Ted Lasso. Put it right over Ted Lasso. Now put a funny picture of our cat. This is me and Owen's cat. Me and Owen share a cat. Put a funny picture of our cat. Now, okay, you can put a funny picture of me now. Dad, put the different one. Alright, guys, thank you.